Okay, let's take a look at Sleep Number's Q3 2024 earnings call
Yeah.
and try to figure out what's been happening.
You know, the bedding industry is really having a rough time.
It is.
This is the third year of a recession for them.
Wow.
And it's weak consumer demand that's hitting companies like Sleep Number pretty hard.
Yeah, and you can see that reflected in their sales, down 10% compared to last year,
Right.
which is even worse than they initially predicted.
It is.
And, and to add to that, they're also dealing with this major leadership change with Shelley Ibach announcing her retirement.
Yeah, CEO transition, that always throws a wrench in the works.
Exactly.
Creates some uncertainty.
But before we get into that, let's look at the financials.
Okay.
They did beat their adjusted EBITDA guidance, which suggests they're at least managing costs effectively.
Right. Great.
Given this tough environment.
And EBITDA, for those who aren't familiar, is essentially a measure of profitability that strips away things like interest and taxes and depreciation and amortization. It gives you a clearer view of a company's operating performance, and in this case, it shows they're running a pretty tight ship.
Yeah, but even with the tight cost controls, they're still facing some serious headwinds.
Oh, yeah.
One detail from the call that really stood out to me was that almost all of their sales growth this quarter came from just 2 weekends.
Oh, wow.
July 4th and Labor Day.
That is fascinating.
It is.
That's really insightful into what consumers are thinking right now.
What do you think it says?
It seems like shoppers are really cautious, holding back until they see those deep discounts. They're really delaying gratification.
Yeah, they're sleeping on those decisions, so to speak.
Exactly.
So how is Sleep Number responding to that?
Well, they're aware of this.
Yeah.
They're laser focused on efficiency, targeting specific customer segments, and getting the most out of their marketing budget.
So they're making every dollar count.
Right.
They're not just playing defense, though.
No, they're not.
They're also launching new products that seem designed to entice these hesitant buyers.
Yeah.
Like they just debuted this new line of smart beds called Climate Cool.
Right.
All this temperature regulating technology.
It's an interesting move. It directly addresses a major consumer pain point.
It does.
Research shows that 2/3 of people struggle with temperature while they sleep.
Wow.
So Sleep Number is really tapping into a need, and that could be a really smart strategy.
So it seems like they're betting on innovation to differentiate themselves and attract those customers who are, willing to spend even during a recession.
Exactly.
Do you think it'll be enough?
Well, innovation is definitely key in a market like this, and by focusing on a specific customer need, like temperature regulation, they are increasing their chances of success.
Okay.
But the real question is, can they convert enough customers to offset the broader industry downturn?
Right. They've got to generate enough sales to keep those debt covenants happy, which is a concern they highlighted in the call.
It's a valid concern.
What are debt covenants exactly?
Essentially, they're agreements between a borrower and a lender.
Okay.
And they impose certain conditions, often related to financial performance.
I see.
So if Sleep Number's sales don't recover sufficiently, they could run into trouble meeting those obligations.
Got it.
Yeah.
So what should investors be watching for here?
Well, keep a close eye on their sales figures.
Right.
If they can reach at least $1.7 billion next year, that would be a positive sign.
Yeah.
But if they fall short of that, it could raise some red flags.
$1.7 billion, the number to watch.
Yeah.
But beyond just the raw numbers, there's also the leadership transition.
Yeah.
How might Shelley Ibach's departure impact Sleep Number's strategic direction?
That's the big unknown right now.
Yeah.
It all hinges on who the new CEO is and what their vision is for the company.
Right.
A new leader could bring fresh ideas, which could be positive. But it also introduces a period of uncertainty, which can make investors nervous.
So we've got a company battling a tough market, a CEO transition on the horizon, and a big bet on sleep science and innovation.
Right.
It's a complex situation.
It is, and we haven't even factored in the competition yet.
That's right.
Sleep Number isn't the only one trying to get a slice of the shrinking market.
They're up against the giants and then all the online disruptors.
Exactly.
Let's talk about those competitors and how Sleep Number stacks up in this crowded market in the next part of our deep dive.
Yeah.
Stay with us.
Welcome back to our deep dives into Sleep Number's latest earnings call.
We just left off talking about the competitive landscape.
Right.
Sleep Number is facing off against some pretty tough competition here.
They are.
Both traditional mattress giants and those agile online startups.
It's a crowded field.
Dude.
You've got the heavy hitters like Tempur Sealy,
Right.
Serta Simmons bedding. They've been around forever.
Yeah.
And then you've got the newcomers like Casper, Purple, Nectar.
Right. All these bed-in-a-box companies.
Yeah. It seems like those online brands are everywhere on social media.
They are, and they've been very successful at capturing the attention
They have.
and wallets of younger consumers.
So how does Sleep Number compete in this environment? What are their strengths?
Well, they have a long history
Yeah.
and a well-established
Right.
brand
Yeah.
reputation for quality and innovation.
They've also been early adopters of sleep technology.
And a key thing,
Yeah,
they have a network of physical stores,
that's true.
which gives them an advantage over online-only players.
Yeah, you can actually go into a Sleep Number store,
Yeah.
try out the beds, talk to a salesperson,
Right.
get a feel for the products.
That's key for a product like a mattress,
It is.
where comfort and feel are so important.
You don't want to buy that sight unseen.
Exactly.
That's where I think Sleep Number's investment in sleep science and these personalized experiences
Yeah.
could really pay off.
It seems like they're trying to position themselves as more than just a mattress company.
I think so, yeah.
They're selling better sleep,
Exactly.
tailored to your individual needs.
Hmm.
This whole focus on sleep science is fascinating to me.
Yeah,
Do you think it's a genuine trend
I think
or
so.
more of a marketing tactic?
I think it's both.
Okay.
There's no doubt people are more aware of the importance of sleep.
Right.
And the science is there to back it up.
Yeah.
So they are tapping into a real consumer need,
Uh-huh.
but they're also leveraging that science to create a powerful brand narrative.
So they're selling the science, but also the story.
Precisely.
And that story resonates with consumers.
It does, especially in today's world.
People are stressed. They're sleep deprived.
They are.
They're looking for anything to optimize their well-being.
Exactly.
They're essentially saying, we're not just selling you a product, we're selling you a better life.
That's it. That's the message.
But are there any downsides to this focus on sleep tech? Like we talked about data privacy earlier.
Yeah.
And there are also questions about the accuracy and reliability of these
And
devices.
there's also valid concerns.
Consumers are wary of companies collecting their data.
Yeah, especially something as personal as sleep patterns.
If the technology isn't accurate,
Yeah.
the whole premise falls apart.
Right? You need good data to actually improve your sleep.
So there's a level of trust involved here.
Absolutely.
Consumers need to trust these companies.
They do.
Will use their data responsibly,
Mm-hmm.
that the technology actually works.
Yeah, that trust has to be earned.
So it seems like Sleep Number's navigating a tricky landscape.
It is.
They're trying to innovate and capitalize on this growing interest in sleep science.
Right.
They're managing costs, fending off competition,
Yeah.
addressing consumer concerns about data privacy, the technology.
It's a balancing act.
It is. And it'll be interesting to see how they handle these challenges.
Yeah.
Especially with the new CEO coming in.
Exactly. And don't forget, this is all happening against the backdrop of a shrinking market.
They're trying to grow their business.
Right.
While the overall pie is getting smaller.
It's not easy.
So what's your overall assessment of Sleep Number's position right now?
I think it's too early to say.
Okay.
They're facing headwinds, but they also have some real strengths.
Okay.
That focus on sleep science,
Yeah.
that physical store network,
Uh-huh.
those give them an edge.
Okay.
They seem to be taking the right steps to control costs,
Right.
but a lot will depend on how effectively they execute their strategy,
Right.
how well they connect with consumers,
Uh-huh.
and how this leadership transition goes.
So a lot of unknowns and a lot of potential.
Yeah, both good and bad.
It sounds like Sleep Number is at a pivotal moment.
I think so.
The next few years are going to be crucial for them.
They're going to have to prove that this sleep science focus
Yeah.
is more than just marketing.
It's real.
Yeah, that they can innovate, deliver real value, and navigate this tough market and come out stronger.
Well, we'll certainly be watching to see how it unfolds.
We will.
But there's one more piece of the puzzle we haven't discussed.
Okay.
The financial outlook.
Right.
What are the analysts saying about Sleep Number's prospects?
Yeah. Are they bullish, bearish?
Yeah. What should investors be paying attention to in the coming quarters?
Let's dive into those financial projections.
Okay.
Try to read the tea leaves in the final part of our deep dive.
Sounds good.
Stay tuned.
Welcome back to the final part of our deep dive into Sleep Number's Q3 2024 earnings call.
We've covered a lot of ground.
We have, from their financial performance to strategic bets to the competitive landscape, the leadership transition.
And now it's time to look ahead.
Yeah. What's the financial outlook for Sleep Number?
Are analysts optimistic or pessimistic?
Hmm.
Well, it's a mixed bag.
Oh.
Some analysts see potential for growth,
Uh-huh.
particularly if Sleep Number can successfully capitalize on their sleep science focus.
Okay.
And attract those premium customers.
So they're betting on Sleep Number's ability to kind of differentiate themselves.
Exactly.
And command those higher prices.
If their innovations resonate with consumers,
right,
and they maintain that brand strength, they could potentially do well.
But there are also risks, of course.
Oh, of course.
Shrinking market,
right,
cautious consumer,
yeah,
competitive pressures.
Those are weighing on some analysts' minds.
Yeah.
They're concerned about Sleep Number hitting those sales targets.
Right.
Meeting those debt covenants we talked about.
That $1.7 billion in sales for next year is a crucial benchmark.
It is.
If they fall short, it could trigger some financial repercussions.
Exactly.
So investors are watching those sales figures closely.
Yeah.
What else should they be paying attention to?
Keep an eye on gross margins.
Okay.
Sleep Number's been doing a good job controlling costs, improving efficiency,
Yeah.
and that's reflected in their expanding margins.
Yeah, that 340 basis point improvement year over year is impressive.
It is.
Especially in this shrinking market.
But it's important to see if they can sustain those gains
Yeah.
as they continue to invest in new products and technologies.
Right. Innovation often comes at a cost.
Exactly. And then there's the wild card, the CEO transition.
Yeah.
We don't know who will replace Shelley Ibach or what their vision will be.
Could shake things up.
It could.
So what's the bottom line?
What should investors take away from all of this?
Yeah.
Sleep Number is at a crossroads.
Okay.
They're facing some big challenges, but they've got opportunities too.
They're in a tough market, but they're innovating.
Yeah.
Trying to be the leader in the sleep wellness space.
It all hinges on whether they can execute their strategy,
Yeah.
navigate the leadership transition effectively, and ultimately convince consumers that their products and their sleep science focus
Are worth it.
are worth the investment.
It's a compelling story, but there's still a lot of uncertainty.
There is.
Investors will need to weigh the risks and rewards carefully. Thanks for joining me on this deep dive into Sleep Number's earnings call.
It's been a pleasure.
I hope you found it insightful.
And to our listeners, sleep well.
Yes, sleep well.
And maybe consider upgrading your sleep setup if you haven't already.
That's all for this episode.
Thanks for listening.
We'll be back soon with another deep dive into the world of earnings calls.
See you then.
Until then, sweet dreams.